It was just me and old buddy. I mean, a man's got a right to, defend himself. Grown man touch another grown man in his face. Pulling on his beard real hard. And, I got the decency to tell you not to do that again. I don't spaz on you right there. I got enough decency to tell you not to do that again. And, the only thing you can reply with is how I'm a bitch-ass white boy. And look at him, y'all, getting shook just like a bitch-ass white boy would. And look at him, y'all, just like a white boy would, acting like a bitch. And then, you immediately grab my face again even harder. After I just asked you not to do that no more. I got my wife standing right behind me and I'm in a room full of my peers. I mean, what do? You making it real hard on a guy. You really putting his back on the wall. You start doing all that shit in front of in front of my wife and everybody in the room. I didn't ask you to quit fucking with me.
It's personal between me and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so I wanted to comment on this because a lot of people asked me when it first happened. They said, BT, True School, where's your video on Caleb Plant slapping Jermall Charlo at the Crawford Spence, press conference or whatever it was. I don't know if it was press conference or when, but it was during that week, right? So I didn't want to comment on it because, for one, I wanted to really just focus on the great fight we had coming up with Crawford and Spence, and I just didn't have enough details to really comment on it the way I could. But now I feel like I can comment on it because Caleb Plant has spoken about it, as you guys saw in the beginning of this video. So with that being said, and with that being established on True School Sports, let me just say this: if Jermall Charlo is not going to retire officially, because he's basically, in my mind, he is retired. Jermall Charlo hasn't boxed since June of 2021, and he has no intention of wanting to fight. And look, I'm not trying to judge the man because he's going through things outside the ring. But at the end of the day, like trains and buses don't stop for anybody. The show must go on. Like, you gotta either fight or retire. And if he's not going to fight, if he is going to fight, then there really is only one fight we all want to see. And that fight is Caleb Plant, because it's turning into a rivalry. Caleb Plant smacked the shit out of Jermall Charlo, smacked the soul out of his body, a leaping slap, and it caused quite a stir because apparently Charlo was tugging on his beard and this, that, and the third, and he was tugging on his beard and Caleb warned him, and then he did it again, and then he instigated everything, and that's why Caleb slapped him. So Caleb, if what Caleb is saying is true, and I don't think he would, I don't feel like he would lie about this, right? Because who wants to just get into a slapping match when you're out and about with your wife at an event for a fight? I've seen Caleb Plant in Vegas before at events. Like I saw Caleb Plant after the Ryan Garcia Tank fight in the corridor. I saw him there. I saw him at the Devin Haney's media workout for the Lomachenko fight that same week, and he's a pretty low key guy. Like the guy that you see that turns up on fight week, much different guy when he's not in fight mode, right? So for him to get to that when he doesn't have a fight sign and it's not fight week for him, you had to have done something, and Charlo clearly did it. So listen, I'm gonna be blunt. I'm gonna say it like this: I would like to see Caleb Plant retire Jermall Charlo. Because Jermall Charlo, let's have it right. At 154, I thought Jermall Charlo was an amazing fighter at 154. At 154, I thought Jermall Charlo had the makings of a pound-for-pound type of fighter. Pound-for-pound, top 10 type of guy. He got to middleweight. He fought like Brandon Adams and certain opposition. Looked average for a while. Then he gave us a little bit of hope with the great performance against Sergey Derevyanchenko. And now, you just haven't seen or heard much from him in the last, 2 years or so, right? So, what better fight? I feel like this is the best Crossroads fight in the history of PBC. You got Caleb Plant, who is probably one of the only fighters in boxing who could lose two big fights in a what was it, two big fights in a less than 2 year span, and still maintain value and a lot of respect as, you know, one of the, you know, a really popular fighter in boxing. I think his value is actually increased from the losses to Benavidez and Plant, not hindered from it. A lot of people like Caleb Plant now. But he needs a win. The thing is, Caleb Plant's trying to get back into title contention. He's trying to show the world that he is still at that elite creme de la creme level. And this would be a good fight for him. You know, Jermall Charlo, still undefeated guy, 2-division champion. One of the better jabs are on that weight. Good fight. Charlo needs to get back in the fold. He needs to really, you know, show that he's serious and going to be a player in this boxing game and not just be some guy that was champion and whatnot. Him and beating Caleb Plant, a guy that, you know, has been in there with the best, like Canelo and Benavidez, and been champion, defended it a bunch of times, and, you know, beat Jose Uzcategui and done some good things in boxing. Beating him would give and restore instant credibility back to the Jermall Charlo name, because a lot of it has been lost over these last couple of years. And, you know, even when he was fighting, you know, he just wasn't delivering the performances he wanted. Even going back to when he fought Korobov, I thought he barely beat Korobov, but an L would have been justified on his resume for that one. So Jermall Charlo fell off a long time ago, and if there was ever a Crossroads fight that needed to be made, it is Caleb Plant. It is Jermall Charlo. And I think stylistically it'd be a good fight. You know, Caleb Plant, I think, is actually the more athletic fighter of the two. Got the better feet. Punching power wise, I don't know how Charlo's power would carry up at 68, but I don't think there's much in the power discrepancy between the two. Jab wise though, that might be what could actually win Charlo the fight. Charlo got a pretty good jab. Caleb's got a good jab too. I just think Charlo's jab is a bit more a power jab and a straighter jab. Caleb is more of a fast twitch, kind of like, you know, up jab, where he uses to get out the way and then get his distance and then kind of, you know, shoot the right hand and then, you know, make you reset. You know, he's got his ways that he uses his jab. Charlo's got his ways he uses his jab. But ultimately, I think what's happened here with PBC and Al Haymon and Charlo and Plant is you have the makings of a really good Crossroads fight. Both guys at a very intriguing and vulnerable place in their career. I know that Caleb Plant really wants a Charlo fight because I've heard him. He said it in interviews. I heard him say it. I heard him say it in the gym one time when I was at the Top Rank gym that one day in April, and he really thinks that this is a fight that he could win and win clearly. So why not? You know, why not? You know, Caleb Plant hasn't really shown himself to be a guy that's gonna duck or dodge anybody, and I don't think he would ever. I think if an offer came across the table to fight a Jermall Charlo, he would take it with open arms. So I'm gonna leave it at that. That's my take on Caleb Plant slapping Jermall Charlo. I hope that PBC and Al Haymon don't waste any time and then they make this fight happen sooner rather than later. So we'll definitely keep keeping tabs on it here on True School Sports. Let me know what you guys think. You know, leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dang. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. We're here at the Hatanaka Boxing Gym in Nagoya, Japan. And for more great videos just like this one, make sure you guys click right here.